Okay, we're back again. Guess who we are? It's me. It's Mo.
I'm the Hulk.
It's Nat. See him over here? No,
He's
because he's not around.
He's over there.
What's going on? Fuck knows, man. But we're going to talk about...
Calm down. Don't have a breakdown.
We're going to talk about
You're not
a army film, and its name is Dunkirk.
Military film.
Yeah. In France.
And Britain.
Yeah.
And France. And the Nazis.
Not that many Nazis, but just they're very bad. Nazis are bad.
They're shooting, but we can't see them.
We don't need to. It's not about special effects for Nazis. We can't afford that kind of stuff. We're back again, this time with Dunkirk, directed by Christopher Nolan. Because he's the guy who did Batman, that's it. And
He's the new Kubrick.
Inception, and what else? Memento, and...
Inception.
Inception again. Oh yeah, Insomnia, which nobody talks about ever, because the original was so much better. Even though I had Robin Williams in it, the late Robin Williams.
Insomnia was good.
It was okay, man. I watched it in the US, isn't it? I watched Minority Report at the same time, so yeah, I like Minority Report.
Minority Report, but I would say it's good.
We also had, what else did he direct?
Loads, but he's written this.
Yeah, he did The Following, which was his first one. He did.
He did the best film that you like, and you can't believe you forgot about it.
Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that. That's pretty good. Not the best film he did. I'm saying it's second to Memento.
Huh?
Second to Memento is Prestige.
I prefer Memento.
Everybody prefers Memento, but you gotta have some more than just Memento.
What do I need to remember?
You have to look in the mirror.
What do I need to remember for this podcast? Let me get my
Stop
tattoos.
stripping off, man. It's alright. It's not the top podcast. So, Dunkirk. You know, it's if you don't know about it because you might be in the US and you don't give a damn crap. What happened was, on the beaches of France, basically British people were just stuck there, stuck in Dunkirk, couldn't get back. I need to get out of there because they're getting blasted to shit.
British military. It's a retreat.
Yeah, it's basically
no
escape.
Retreat, no surrender.
No, that's just Jean-Claude Van Damme. If he was in this, he would have ninja kicked everybody or something.
He would have been one of the French soldiers saying,
He would have been part of the Legion, because that was the flipping film, wasn't it?
I'm the best.
Wasn't he part of the French Legion?
Yeah. Yeah.
Legionnaire, or whatever the hell it's called. Who cares? Nobody watched that shit.
I don't even think I watched that.
I didn't have to watch it. I just ended up watching it on video sometime. A long time ago. When I was younger, when it just didn't matter what the fuck they did. When Jean-Claude Van Damme.
JCVD.
Except JCVD. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in hell. That's when he had to watch his own fucking films. You ever seen that one? He was in prison.
I heard Christopher Nolan, ? Wrote this, yeah? Well, he did write it.
Did he or didn't he?
No, he wrote it, ? As in, there's not that much dialogue in it.
Well, he didn't use any dialogue because you don't need it because, you know, you know exactly what this is about. It's more about explosions, more about tension, and about the suffering, and get the hell out of there because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't want to stay there because you're getting bombed to hell. This film, which, what was it? You thought it was going to be 2 hours long? It turned out to be an hour and 45.
3 hours long.
Which turned out to be the shortest 1 hour 45 minutes of my life.
But, no, I like the fact that there wasn't that much dialogue. I think it made it... I think if you try to crank some dialogue, some of Chris Nolan's previous dialogue has been a bit ropey, hasn't it? He's stronger on visual. Some of it's a bit...
yeah, personally, I think he's good at visuals, and when it comes to dialogue, he just kind of like pushed it in there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes great, sometimes it's just like...
Usually brother writes for him, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan Nolan.
Because he needs them, because he needs it for writing.
Yeah, Jonathan Nolan's a writer.
And Christopher Nolan is the director.
He's the one that says, Rachel!
What?
Remember, what's his name? Two-Face. Rachel!
Oh, Rachel.
Rachel!
Right. Yeah, they're both saying that.
Yeah, no.
That was a big thing.
He says, his name is Rachel!
It's kind of like when he got Christopher Nolan films, you kind of think like, oh, he's going to have some great dialogue, but then you think, oh, wait a minute, maybe he doesn't really do direct actors that well. Maybe he just lets them go, and sometimes he just picks actors are really good at just acting, which is kind of like why he's got like Harry Styles in this film, who's actually doing pretty well. Probably because of the fact that, well, he doesn't have much to say, and he mostly just gets mud in his face and gets screwed around a lot, and he gets thrown about here and there. So less about acting, more about, oh my god.
And he's drowning quite a lot in it.
Yeah, the entire.
That's why he's moody.
I think this film had more drowning sequences than anything I've seen for a while. One thing it doesn't have too much violence in it. It really just has more like, instead of like Hacksaw Ridge when you got massive explosions and people's body parts here and there and left, right, and center. This time it's more of like, well, you can kind of hear it's in the background. Somebody bloody exploded, but you're never going to really see the consequence because at the end of the day, this is kind of a rated PG-13, 12A certificate type film.
No, because the Nazis are hitting them. They're sitting ducks, as I say.
Yeah.
And, most people are shooting them with rifles. I like the way he starts. The guy's, what's his name? Fionn something, the main guy.
I don't even know who he is, but it doesn't really matter.
Fionn something. He's the main guy. He's the soldier, and he's walking with his platoon, and then they get ambushed, and he's the only one that jumps up on top of the gates and escapes. But there's like bullets going past him. So
basically, technically, we kind of fall like one person, even though another person tags along.
Yeah.
But
who doesn't talk either?
He doesn't talk much either. So
apart from saying anglais, I'm English, for like the first 5 minutes. The rest of the 45 minutes, he doesn't say anything, does he?
No, he mostly says, I don't care. We're just on about the fact that we gotta survive and things will be happening, and if you get in a boat, it's more likely gonna bloody sink, and you can't know it. But this entire film is more about the tense action sequences, in a way, and the, are they gonna make it, are they not, even though if you know history, you know exactly what's gonna happen. But otherwise, it's more about the tension and...
Yeah, it is. I mean, it felt like when he's escaping, it felt like he's coming back to his roots. He's Neanderthal. He's just trying to survive.
Yeah.
He's not talking. He's grunting. He's saying this. He's saying that.
Especially the fact that they're all on the beaches, and they can see home from in the distance. But the other thing is, one thing I found out was when they did all soldiers on the beach, they didn't even bother using CGI. This film doesn't use very much CGI at all. They used cardboard cutouts.
Of people?
Yeah. Soldiers used cardboard cutouts instead of like just cut and pasting CGI characters here and there. And the plane sequences? Well, basically Christopher Nolan paid like, I think it's $5 million for each plane, Spitfire, to actually have actual planes. And then they actually strapped on cameras to those planes. Instead of doing all CGI, he actually used physical effects, which is what he's known for anyway.
Yeah.
And it shows, it really does, especially with the dogfight sequences, which I haven't seen such good dogfight sequences in a long time, let alone CGI. This is just like, wow.
Because like you usually works with Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's in this
as Spitfire pilot, and then he has Cillian Murphy as, he doesn't have a name really, does he?
His name is pretty much, I want to get out of here. I don't want to go back. I'm scared shitless.
Yeah,
that's his entire role, really.
And then Mark Rylance is one of, because what they do is the Navy commandeers loads of boats to get the soldiers over, loads of private boats rather than big ships that are suspected, big ships that are easily vulnerable to attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's their evacuation policy.
Yeah. But
Kenneth Branagh's there as well.
Kenneth Branagh, which actually does a pretty good role as a Navy captain, whereas.
Yeah. The colonel is James Darcy, who was in Broadchurch, and
really
he played Anthony Perkins in that Hitchcock.
Oh yeah, you also got one of your favourite actors at the minute,
Mark Rylance. Yeah, I like him.
Which
we're going to Dunkirk.
He didn't really have too much to say, really. Yeah. He's kind of not wasted, but yeah, he is kind of wasted.
We got a job to do.
But
you could be Cillian Murphy and say, "Where are we going, Dunkirk?"
I'll be Cillian Murphy and just go, "I'm not going back." Even though he was like the scarecrow,
Yeah, but he was shitting his pants in this film.
Yeah. The other thing it has, besides great action sequences and very much tension and stuff, it shows the war in a way, a more realistic way, so you don't get too many. Obviously, as I said, nothing like Hacksaw Ridge, like Mel Gibson just likes to blow or kill people a lot. But this one is more to do with the fact that, it's the tensity of it. And he had this, like, the soundtrack itself has got like a bit like a Dark Knight in a way. Has a kind of tension thing.
Yeah.
Plus, it had like a ticking clock throughout it.
Yeah, it did.
It was like and stuff like that to build up the tension, even if it's just people just walking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which keeps on building tension. So this film literally relies on those main things instead of having to get to know characters and having the stupid scenes where you go like, oh, I'm I want to go home and see my wife and then he gets killed, or I need to do this, or
corny stuff,
I need to, all that corny stuff is like taken out of it. I think it deliberately did that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have to focus on all that kind of stuff. Instead, you can't focus on every character. It's like, having Titanic and just focus on 2 goddamn people who don't drown, and that's what everybody cares about. Instead, the rest of the crew that just goes downhill.
Or like Pearl Harbor, where they just focus on 2 characters. Ben Affleck, and fucked it up. Rewrote everybody else out and said, "Oh, we just focus on these 2 characters."
But this time, they really, he really knows where to focus the characters. He literally knows. It's more about the action. It's more about the whole feeling of the piece than just, individual characters in it where we're going to see them throughout. It's probably why also it feels so much shorter than it actually is. It just feels, it's like, oh, it's already over. It's like a really quick film, but it isn't.
I would imagine would there be a director's cut of this? Because they
could, but I don't know. I've never seen really any. Chris Nolan ever done any director's cut that's been longer?
Yeah, I said an hour 45 minutes is considerably shorter as what I would thought.
Yeah, most of the time you think, Christopher Nolan film, it's going to be over 2 hours, probably going to be an hour and 2.5 hours. But no, this is like really short. Just like I'm surprised, I'm shocked at the fact that even this is that short.
Yeah, I mean this part of history I'm not too familiar with either. Well, the Dunkirk bit, know more about Battle of Britain and all the other stuff. But it's kind of like it's really really interesting. Tom Hardy's voice, he always does. He's making me laugh. He's really
even though he's got the
RAF.
like mask over it, and it's kind of like he still kind of sounds Bane. Like, is it you again? No, I'm trying to do something different. No, you're not.
Please stop.
He really can't do a posh accent, can he? He just sounds ridiculous when he does it. He even tried it in Inception as well.
Yeah,
which is bad.
I mean, he's middle class. So you would have thought he would.
He's not that middle class, man.
I would say middle class.
Well, his accent isn't.
Well, he's always trying to play an upper class person, or RAF guy. But his mate is Collins. It's a guy called Collins.
Oh yeah,
Scottish guy, Catholic name it. So, there's like 3 planes that they've only just given 3 planes to help in this evacuations. The 3 RAF planes to make sure that nobody messes about with the soldiers and stuff, which is not enough because they're saving them for the Battle of Britain.
And not only just that, also you got the fact that, everybody who's trying to survive it thinks, oh, we're being cowardice, we didn't stay.
Yeah.
Oh, what are they going to think of us back home and all that kind of thing. But obviously Churchill says a lot of things, made him to be courageous, even though if they haven't done jack all. But not that I'm trying to say they haven't done jack all. I'm just saying, like, they still portrayed him as, you're still heroes, the fact that you went there, you tried your best, and,
Yeah, sometimes you have to retreat. Survival was the most... If they didn't survive there, then, the course of the war would have been different.
If you think about it, it's a very British way of thinking about it. It's like, it's not just the fact that you're a winner, it's more to do with the participation and, trying your best and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Extreme... Yeah, because some of them were saying, what are they going to think of us? We're going back. And it's obviously Britain was the only country that was taking on the Nazis. America wasn't there. Russia was still a bit indifferent to it. It's only when the Nazis started executing so many Russians, Soviets, and so forth.
I'll tell you one thing. It had probably the worst shitting scene I've ever seen. Trying to take a crap.
Yeah, he was trying to take a crap twice.
Yeah, even he had those leaflets as well, which
Nazi
basically said
propaganda.
like, "Well, you're here, and we're everywhere. You're screwed."
Give up.
But he's using his bloody toilet paper, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that was some sort of metaphor at the beginning of it. That don't take any shit from the Nazis. Just give them back.
Good metaphor.
When I was watching it, and they obviously get to the boat, a few of them, they're all queuing up and they're all desperate to get onto the big boat before it gets attacked. They all go underground, and they're all having jam sandwiches.
They don't go underground. They get into a boat.
Yeah, I know, but I felt like at that time I wanted jam sandwiches.
Yeah, you're kind of hungry, but it's always like,
typical English.
Come on,
sandwich.
have a sandwich. You have a nice cup of tea. I don't think what a terrible cup of tea would have been, but you have a nice cup of tea, and that's when Christopher Nolan finally uses some women, which he barely uses as usual because I don't think Christopher Nolan's any good at directing women.
Some nurses or something. But I think one of them was something Nolan. I don't know if it was that was his sister or something.
Well, then he wasn't good at directing her either. Because Christopher Nolan's terrible at directing women, and I can absolutely say that because every time he's ever done women, it's been pretty terrible.
He doesn't, unless a woman acts herself like.
As I said, so it kind of
makes
makes me wonder if he's good at directing actors, or is it just because he just picks the right actors that can actually do the scenes. So I don't know.
He gets the best actors or the actors that are kind of like at the top of the game or highly paid.
Even though he somehow picked Harry Styles out of it, which I wouldn't expect to be acting, but surprisingly, even though he plays pretty much an asshole throughout, but
he'll bring in the punters.
But he does pretty well. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he got something out of him as well.
I think a lot of it's always crisscross. A lot of musicians.
Crisscross.
Like gonna make a jump. Let's change the clothes. A lot of musicians come from a drama background or they want
technically do because they always do like
and they
do music videos. So I presume they should have some kind of acting skills in a way or get used to it.
Oh, take direction, yeah. So
yeah.
You stand there, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main kid, I remember his name. It's Fionn Whitehead. So he's new. He's completely brand new. Hasn't been in anything at all. So I don't know where he plucked him from or something. And so I mean, obviously people pick up. Cillian Murphy is Mike Rylance, and he has a son called Peter. And no, is it Peter? Yeah, it's Peter. Yeah, and then they have this kind of. Which I thought it was his son, but it's not his son. Somebody called George.
Oh,
he's a bit simpleton and stuff, a bit thick and stuff.
I wouldn't say he's thick.
He didn't graduate in school, apparently.
He's young and he just really wants to do something with his life and he thinks going to and saving these people.
He jumps on the boat.
Yeah, which is basically the people from... Where are they from?
Well, they're from Dorset. One boat.
Yeah.
One boat goes without... Mark Rylance's... his character is called Mr. Dawson. Yeah, Mr. Dawson. So he just goes and leaves... Like, they're all waiting to be allocated, and all the sailors are going into the boats, and he's like, leave you guys, I'm off, I gotta go, there's no time to lose, we gotta get these people. And then he that's why he goes, and then obviously George jumps on there and says, I'm coming as well.
Yeah.
And he says that people think I'm thick, or...
I think people thought when the war was going on, it's kind of like, oh, well, I want to do something because... Even though I haven't achieved this in life or I don't know what I'm going to do with it, maybe doing this would be something, meaningful. And in a way it is because at the end of the day, you're participating in something that, affected everybody.
Yeah, so he's probably looking at it and thinking, I am young and there's other people that are probably about 6 months older than me or a year older and they're fighting and I want to do something. I don't want to be... people to say, oh, this guy didn't do anything, he just chilled out. The
other thing I think Christopher Nolan tried to play with time, I think it was. Like, he'd set up, 3 different sequences.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, and in 3 different timelines in a way. Not quite as, obsessive as, Memento or something like that. Man. Or even Tarantino-wise, like Pulp Fiction. But more like, he'd hint at it, and he'd show, this is happening this time, this is happening that time. He wouldn't tell you. You just be on screen, you're kind of thinking, oh yeah, that's happening that time. I'm presuming that's happening a bit later on. Yeah, no literal version of showing it in any kind of way. But it's almost like he was trying to do that, and then he kind of didn't really, go further with it. It's almost like he forgot halfway through, or there was more to it that he never really got to, show,
he probably gave up. That's what I was thinking about the director's cut. The time bit was confusing because Cillian Murphy then turns up before he's been rescued, but that kid is trying to get the Fionn Whitehead kid is trying to get onto Cillian Murphy's boat, and he's like, no, you can't get on the boat.
Yeah, and he said, oh, we'll be back for you. I don't know if he comes back for him, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really happen, and then you wonder why he's so traumatized, and it's kind of like it doesn't quite. Sometimes I wonder if a lot is left on the cutting room floor, or he was trying to do something with that, but then he just like said, "No, sorry, I can't be bothered. Let's just do it this way, and we'll keep it as that, unless it comes out director's cut. Who knows?"
No, I think movies like this, big epic movies, there are a lot of things on the floor, on the cutting floor. There's probably gonna be people that have been cut out the whole movie, other actors.
But in another way, it's kind of works out like a health and safety PSA video. It's kind of
It
like
did feel like
if you get in a boat, remember it might sink. So these are the ways you can get out.
Yeah.
If you get trapped in the oil spillage, do remember just in case the oil might spark up and you might be in the water. And if you're trapped in, make sure your parachute works. Make sure you're on a plane.
make sure you
you can actually pull the shutter off.
Put the shit off
Make sure a lot of things. It's almost like feels like a PSA video every time. It's like, oh, this might happen. Oh, here, let me show you. This could happen. Don't get in that situation. It almost feels like that. So it feels like almost little sketches of skits or something of, health and safety
videos when you watch as a kid about fireworks, people's faces blowing off, and that one with a guy who's running in the beach and there's a glass there. That's the worst one. Sort of in Britain, by the way.
But the other thing, I mean, as for what reviewers saying, like this is his best film. He's trying to be Stanley Kubrick and all that kind of thing.
Excited.
Yeah.
They're shooting their loads for some reason.
I don't know why. This is why we have to come in like little Max and put things on just in case the people in the background would spewing everywhere.
Yeah, and I bought my raincoat on.
Yeah. But, it was good. It wasn't that good. It went over the top about that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people giving 5 stars.
It's a really good movie, and go watch it in the IMAX. It's in the 70mm frame and whatnot. But as for a movie, it's really good. It's very tension filled. It does have its great moments, and you won't be bored at all. You definitely won't be. It will feel very quick. I mean, take anybody to it, and. I liked it. I really did like it. I like the cinematography of it. I like, the sequences itself. It was very well made. But I'm not going to put it up there with all of Christopher Nolan's films. I'm just going to say it's one of those. That's just a really well made film that is rewatchable in some ways. But there's nothing more to that. There's no real characters I can latch onto.
Yeah, I would say I'd probably watch it one more time. That's about it. Wouldn't be too fussed about watching it again. But yeah, I mean, I did like the bit that I like the fact that there wasn't that much dialogue in it. I thought it was going to do disservice to people that fought for freedom and stuff, the folks that went through that hell. But yeah, I think it's a good movie, and I agree. Not the pinnacle of Christopher Nolan. Memento is my favorite, and Dark Knight, of course. But I do like Inception and Prestige as it has its bits. That is beautifully shot, and I like the way it's kind of done. But yeah, it's got some good acting chops in it. Mark Rylance, one of my favorite actors at the moment, and it's good. And I would say watch it. Watch it. It's quick. It'll be done, and you'll enjoy it. You'll get satisfied, and they'll say, "Yeah, come on." You'll feel like a bit, yes. They made it. Yeah,
you are waiting for those sequences that make you. There's sometimes I thought, it's going to end back there, but it ends just right. It perfectly ends for what it is for a war movie, and it gives you that kind of factor that yes, it's a traumatic experience, and by the end of it, it really does make you feel good by the end of it, which is a weird thing to say about a movie, but definitely worth a watch, and definitely worth a watch in the cinema, not anywhere else. Like watch it at home, whatever, somewhere, but
I think
definitely worth watching in
cinema. Screen experience and IMAX experience,
so
absolutely. And the one thing it touched on is what's always been there, but the class between the soldiers, the officer class, and the.
But it's done really well. I mean, there wasn't too much, clashing of it's British, you can't be here.
This is the officer. And James Darcy walking past and saying, "Get out of the way! I am an officer. I demand to go and see Kenneth Brown."
Yeah, that's why it's Navy and we're not there.
Yeah, he cusses him as well, doesn't he? He said, "You're the Army, I'm the Navy. That's why I'm the Navy."
No.
You're thick as big shit. You might be an officer class in the army, but you're thick as pig shit.
Otherwise, that's been Dunkirk and Let's Talk Shorts Night Reviews. Please subscribe or give us a like or just, leave a comment down below. See what you think of this film. If you want to go and watch it, if you haven't, please do go watch it. It's a pretty damn fantastic
Tell us what you
film.
think about the reviews.
What you think about
Do
reviews?
we need to get our tattoos out?
No, that's wrong movie. But otherwise, we'll see you again and talk to you later. Bye bye.